Good day, everybody. This is Emar Sopchik, the Sports Inquirer, and this is another edition of Fighting Peaches. And we're joined by Brett Surrency from Georgia State Men's Soccer. Brett, thank you for joining us today. And how are you and the team doing at the conclusion or preparing for the final regular season match of the year?
Yeah, we're doing good. As you mentioned, just getting ready for the last game of the regular season and hoping that it's not the last game of the season. So we're doing good off today because of election day. But yeah, everything's going pretty well.
Yeah, and you did drop your last contest October 28th at West Virginia. Tough contest for the team. What 2-1? What do you take away from that performance and from that contest as you just prepare for Georgia Southern?
Yeah, I mean, obviously West Virginia's a really good team. I thought we played pretty well in the first half. Obviously had a one goal lead going into the second half, and we're disappointed to let that slip, and I think they scored with roughly a minute left in the game for the second goal. So that's the second game on the road this year that we've had a lead against a really talented team that we've let slip away in the second half. So certainly something that is frustrating, but at the same time, like anything else, it can serve to be a learning lesson moving forward. And the challenge and the task now is to right the ship and get ourselves ready for what will be a tough task with Georgia Southern on Thursday.
Yep, you mentioned that Georgia Southern is your final match of the regular season, at least for the match. Well, for this portion of the season. Before we get to that matchup itself, it also is Senior Day. This is your last home match of the season. We do know that. What about this senior group that you've been able to grow with and see evolve over the past 4 or 5 years, especially what they had to deal with over the past 2 years with the pandemic?
Yeah, and that's something that certainly has shaped us all for the rest of our lives, I'm sure. But for them to have to do it during their college years is, I can't even imagine. The challenges associated with all that, and we kind of all know what that means. But no, it's been a really good group. We've had guys that have been here for a number of years, a few that have transferred in. But when you look at George Proctor and Salar and Vic and Logan and Andrew, first and foremost, just all really good human beings. I think that's something that you take away from them. They all, bring a little bit different things to the table and to the program, and are certainly put their own spin on the group. And it's always a bittersweet moment to have Senior Day, because it is a time to reflect and be thankful for what the guys have given to the program, and in a level of excitement for what's next for them. And this group of guys is going to be really successful just in life. I think maybe a few have some little more soccer left in them, and a couple others that have already lined up some really big time jobs. So it stinks to let them go, because they are, again, just good people, and obviously great soccer players as well, and have given so much to the program. So that part of it is sad. It's always tough to see guys leave, but we are excited for them to take the next steps in their lives, and just incredibly thankful for all that they've given to us.
Yeah, and one of those seniors is Andrew Miller Bell, who we will be speaking to later on this week. Be sure to go to the site to see that interview. But what about him? He transferred into the program after starting his college career at Presbyterian. He's from Georgia, so he came back home to the state. Looks like he had some ups and downs, medical red shirt during his career. Didn't play too much in 2020, but this year, 14 matches so far this season has been a big contributor to the team for you.
Yeah, just early on in his Georgia State career, had just some really big injuries. And the adversities that he's had to overcome, and I do emphasize overcome, because he has gotten past those, have been incredible, both physical and then the mental components that come with that. To see him where he's at, and he's playing really well right now, is just really fun, because he's had some serious struggles and some big time injuries that, if you've ever had a serious injury, it really weighs on you mentally. So to be able to overcome that. And you mentioned 2020, he was still dealing with them in 2020 as well too. And for the most part, he's been really healthy this year, and we've seen a great version of him. And it's just a reminder and a good indicator that he's a really good player when he's healthy. He's just been having some setbacks on the physical side of things. But the other thing with Andrew is he's just the kind of guy that everyone likes. We used to joke that he would walk into the building with just different people all the time. And that's just a true sign of him as a person and to his character, that people are just drawn to him. He's a really good person, and he's one that's just able to get along with everyone. And because of that, I think he has a high level of respect from everyone. And then you take a step back and you think about all the things that he's come from, and it just makes him that much more likable. And you want to see people like that do really well. And he's just another one that he's going to do really well in life. He's too hard of a worker, and he's been able to get through some tough times, and that he'll just be one that's super successful.
Yep, and his final regular season match at home will be, and for the seniors, and for the rest of the team for that matter, will be November 4th against Georgia Southern. Big implications with this match. You have to secure this victory to put yourself in a potential position to get into the MAC tournament. It's the big rival. What about this matchup coming up? I'm sure the anticipation has been very high for you in the program.
Yeah, it stinks. This has been a really long week.
Mhm.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. You touched on all of it. It is the last game. Being able to play at home against Southern, we anticipate, as we always do, having a really good crowd for the game. There's the element of senior day, and there's certainly some implications to be able to continue to play, beyond Thursday. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons for us to be excited for the game, so to speak. But yeah, it feels like the week's dragging a little bit. Anxious to get to the game on Thursday. We know it'll be an incredibly competitive game, and that's what we always get from those guys. And Thursday won't be any different. So we're excited for it. A little nervous, as they usually are going into games like that, just because the nature of the rivalry, and because it has conference implications in it as well too. We just expect an all-out battle. So excited for it, anxious for it, wish it would get here already.
Yeah, but does it help that you've seen these guys before? We've talked about this season. You've been facing these MAC teams that you haven't seen in a very long time, traveling to some long distances to play the matches. I mean, you see these guys every year. I'm sure you recruited some of them. I'm sure you know some of their talent on their roster. Does that make it easier for you just preparing for this matchup?
Maybe just from a preparation side of things, and that there's a bit more familiarity as opposed to starting from scratch. But they do have a lot of new players that they didn't have last year, and at the end of the day, you can prepare as much as you want to. When the whistle blows, you got to be ready to play. So there is that part of it. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but again, at the end of the day, you still have to play the game, and we expect the best from Georgia Southern, and we anticipate having to give our best in order to have a chance to win the game. So it should be a great game, and again, we're looking forward to it.
Well, Brett, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and good luck for you against Georgia Southern.
Thank you so much.